I go in to get a coffee from the coffee shop and I ask, why are you laughing? You are ultimately the creator of your reality in your life.
My close people are like, what is she doing? Because you've made me feel that energetic way. Hi everyone, and welcome back to See Both Sides Like Chanel, and I have an amazing guest today for you all. A podcast that is absolutely going to blow your mind. This is based on business, entrepreneurship and lifestyle. And today is about making magic. So this is Ray Youngman. Hi Ray.
Hi, how you doing, Shan? You
amazing,
right?
Thank you.
Yes, amazing.
Okay, so I'll introduce you to Ray. Ray is a life transformational therapist, coach, and he's massively into property. That's how we met, of course, off of a powerful network of social media. And he has done some amazing things with education. He's into his WizKid billionaire, which he's going to explain to you guys about. And he literally is there to transform people's lives, and he literally has done that for me. So that I'll explain more of that at the end. But yeah, so let's start off. So Ray, how did you get into being a transformational life coach, as you would call it?
Yeah, so I would say that growing up, going through my own personal challenges. And I guess that the real personal challenges were not feeling like I was fully supported within society, going for jobs. Dad left when I was 12. My mum was out there working hard for us, me and my brother, who is 8 years younger than me. It was challenging for her, and watching her growing up as a single parent. So for me, feeling like I had a whole new level of responsibility to go and try and help my mum, my family, with just, the day-to-day living, getting to like 16, going out there to work was, working on construction sites, labouring. I had a deep interest in wanting to become a singer and a dancer, which was, something that I had a deep passion for. But I knew just at a young age that it was very rare that someone would want to try and help you to become what you wanted to become. And it was almost like, you could only rely on your mum and your close family, which was great, but it would only get you to a certain point when you're out there in the thick of it, because they've got their own stuff to deal with.
Yeah. So
what I found is that getting to the ages of like 18, 19, I was labouring on site, and I would look out and I would see I can just see it now. There's a red Ferrari that's outside this development that I was working on. And I asked the guy that I was working with and said, like, who owns this? And he said that it's the guy that runs the business. He's a property developer. Ah. And I was like, okay, cool. So it gives me something to be inspired by. It was like a physical, the car.
So your motivation of getting into property was at the time a red Ferrari.
Yeah.
And obviously from your upbringing, that then empowered you to make your path. No.
Yeah. So I think that ultimately the reasons why I wanted to become a transformational coach was that I went through my own personal challenges, and it was when it was actually when my granddad passed away.
Yeah. That is
someone that I thought was my major inspiration in life, because he was so fun and playful with people. He wouldn't take life too serious. When I see him pass away, and he was like the closest person to me, that was so challenging for me to be able to understand. And I had no one to really help guide me through that process of understanding what just happened. So yeah. I was actually at an auction house, going to purchase a property, and I met a lady there that I had a conversation with, and I was like, what's the difference between me and some of these people that are like really killing it in life, like really achieving what they set out to achieve? And she was like, there's nothing. Everyone's got their own, personal desires, and if you want to really understand the mind, then I can work with you on that. So you know what? I said, okay, cool. Let's go. Let's work.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. So one session.
No.
And I sat down with her, and what she showed me within the 1 hour blew my mind.
Yeah.
And it made me perceive my life and my experience in such a way that I become committed to want to help people doing exactly what she's just helped me do. So
in one session.
That was in one session.
Yeah.
Like she shifted. It was almost like I had a shift in perspective of my life.
Yeah. And do you think that it is that powerful, what you believe in, that one session would literally transform someone's life?
One conversation, because I now understand that it's, we are a constant energetic frequency, you know? So I understand the how profound other people's energies can affect us.
Yeah.
And being, going through the method, and even understanding how a horse. So we worked with a horse. It was like one-on-one understanding. I was like, she gave me, we went into this stables, and her horse was just standing in the middle, and she said, right, I want you to get the horse to do this. Take the horse from one point to another point, and it had only a rope around its neck. Take the horse from there to there. So I was like, okay. So I had the rope, and I'm saying, come on, let's go. I was trying to encourage it to move forward. Nothing. It was just so stubborn and moving, So that was day one. After a couple of days of working with her, we went back to the horse. And during those days, we was doing meditating. She was taking me through some of my behavioural patterns. We was writing a whole bunch down. We was eating very clean. I went back to the horse, and it was like magic. The horse would go anywhere that I wanted it to go. And she explained to me that it was because I was feeling in a certain energetic way that the horse was responding to that. Yeah. And
yeah, I could imagine, because you made me feel that energetic way. Where literally, like, you feel like you are creating magic, and you feel like you can move a horse.
Yeah, I mean, you can,
and you can. So that's
you are ultimately the creator of your reality in your life. And I think it's challenging for people to really understand and appreciate that, because we've not been taught this from a very young age.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you brought up your personal challenges, because everyone's going through it. Everyone's going through
this stuff, and we become so self-consumed and think that our stuff is the most important. Of course that's what we have to work with, but ultimately, if you can help someone else to achieve and understand and see and guide them in the way that they can see, okay, well, this is how you could get over it, or what do you really want from it? This situation, is this really going to get you to a point that you truly desire? Are you being authentic in this situation? What are your core values? Like, this was never ever spoken to me at school. No. Or my mum was far too busy.
Even when you asked me what's your core values, I was like,
hold on, what's that?
What is that? What's core values? And I sat at you, and honestly, I knew from the first session with you that it was a taboo as well, even to go and get help. It still is in society to go and speak to someone, especially in Mediterranean cultures and Arab cultures, and to me, it's absolutely wild where people, if they feel like they've got a slight problem in life, that problem can grow and spiral, and you just try and nip it in the bud from the beginning, really.
100%. And it's like, I think everyone should have a point where they go through and understand, why they created what they created in the past, and what they want to, what they want to achieve in the future, and where they are right now. And I mean, ultimately, everything that we're doing in this present moment is going to build momentum towards whatever the outcome is.
Yeah.
And it's, and it's taken some time to slow things down, breathe, and then, and have a focus, So, I mean,
Amazing.
it's one of the most beautiful things is about when you're able to go through a situation like that and, really look at your own, the things that challenge you, and then to have an actual methodology to be able to help other people see their true authentic self.
Yes.
That's powerful,
Power.
And everyone has that.
Power.
Everyone has that.
And obviously you pick up that what you can see in other people, sometimes you're like, you want to shake them, you're like, but you're worth this. You're amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I love you and I love everything and everything's so great and you're great. But then people are like, well, why would you even want to be around me? Like, the questions I get from people, and I'm like, no, you have that. You need to build that momentum up for yourself and know what you are and what you can achieve. And it is actually one of the saddest things that I think is going on in the world. And it's not, believe it or not, it's not a topic that I was actually going to touch on today, but obviously what I know you can do and what other amazing professionals can do is so powerful and so necessary.
It's so powerful, and we're constantly doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you don't call yourself a professional, or that's not your focus, you're still having an effect on the outside.
Yeah.
You're creating, you're having this energetic shift in your reality. And so if you're going home and you're speaking with your kids and you've had a really long day and you're frustrated, you're gonna project your frustrations onto them, and then they will feel like that they will become that.
Is that why you got into that? So your focus at the moment is education.
We focused on the 3 core values because there's a lot of people in the past when I used to really look at it and be like, well, maybe I'm doing too much. I
feel like that every day.
I'm doing that. I've got Whiskey Billionaire Club. I've got the property. I've got the coaching 1-to-1, and there's a whole bunch of things that you're doing in the day, and people, especially some of the closer ones, will be like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
My close people are like, what is she doing every day?
And it's fascinating because usually they're not the ones that have a big desire or a dream or have stopped believing that these are the possibilities for themselves. And they're challenged by your movements and your passion for life. And we've got an opportunity here to really take it all to the next level, whatever you desire, because once we create something like a situation, we build something, we learn from it. We grow, and that's it. Just keep expanding.
How about which is a challenge for a lot of people actually, maybe even including myself in the past. What it is, because I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't. But creating something like a business, and the business not going to how you want it to go to, and then keeping that momentum up to create more businesses. Where have you been challenged by something like that, and how have you come out of it?
So just to think about, when I was 21, wanting that, seeing the real estate developers and the investors that are living this lifestyle that at that time I desired. It's like 10 years down the line, do we ever reflect on if we've achieved that and we still want that?
Right.
Based on what the 21-year-old me wanted in life. And we rarely stop and sit and write them things down. What did I want when I was 21? And is that the same still now? So in my in the real estate business, it was okay, we want to achieve a portfolio where we're buying and holding hundreds of properties. Now, fast forward, I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, is this really the business model that I want to take forward, and are these aligned to my now core values in life? Like how can I utilize what I wanted then and what I want now and combine it to have a more of a focus and an empowerment on society? And I didn't have that kind of mindset then.
21, I weren't even,
you know what I mean?
I was just worried about what designer item I'm going to buy and put in my wardrobe. I was just focused on my business, to be honest, but I was just going and doing. You know, at 21, you're just doing, you're just going, you're like, so a lot of people are not goal driven at that age. Well, there wasn't back when we were 21.
Sometimes they're driven out of fear.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was like, I do not want my family to be poor. You know, I don't want my mum to still keep struggling. I don't want my brothers to keep, to keep struggling. And my family, you know, I'm like, surely they can't be doing that forever.
Yeah. And it's amazing that we're talking about upbringing, because it's something I brought up on my other 2 podcasts as well. And obviously I've done a lot of work with you, and I know that your upbringing is massive impact on who you are as a human being. And if it's something you weren't happy with, you need to really try and change that for yourself. So it is about change and transformation. And do you believe that your core values obviously can change? And how often do you see core values changing in your experience? Yeah,
I think that ultimately everything that, like how we behave naturally in the day to day, just say, you know, one of mine is education. So it's in my days when I wake up and I set an intention for the day, this is what I want to create from this day. Am I going to learn something, and how can I help other people to learn something? Or maybe even offer a word of wisdom.
Okay.
Or even stop and be present and listen to someone. To me, that's they can learn something and you can learn something, especially when it's intentional. So like this morning, for instance, I go in to get a coffee from the coffee shop and I ask, why are you laughing? We've been there before. So I say...
Ray used to ask me to go speak to 3 strangers a day, and I used to always go speak to the woman in the coffee shop.
Yeah. So I'm like, how's your day? Amazing. I'm like, amazing. Let's go. You know, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's go. Ready for it. And it's almost like they're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Why are you talking to me? What? Yeah, you're so strange.
Weirdo.
You know, why are you asking me these kind of questions? No one ever asks these questions. You know, I'm here to just give you the cup of coffee and done. All right.
Move on. Next. Like
right?
Not even interacting with that human being that's coming to their face, and it's so again, it's just so.
It's
sad.
wild, and that just shows how fast and how stuck in the mind we are over being in the present moment. A guy yesterday threw my boy's food, a wrap, down on the table, and I had to just stop and say, you do realise that you've just thrown my son's food onto the side like that.
Yeah, and it is really rude and disrespectful of food.
Yeah, and he's watching you disrespect his food like that
to a child.
Yeah, so it's it just so I just had to bring the moment to this pause and just be like, breathe.
Everyone just breathe.
Are you okay, mate?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's important to see the challenges in the day as well, and confront them head on every day, because them challenges will just keep getting.
They just compound
more
over time.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to achieve? And if we're saying we want to achieve a set, by the end of the day, I want to achieve.
So do you set your achievements for your day? Obviously, I know you write a diary,
but they might just be aligned to education. Like I want to learn. I want to be open to learning today something more about myself. Yeah. Or I would like to be open to learning more about 3 other people in this day. And
this is why I feel like this podcast and podcasting in general are absolutely amazing, because you get the time to sit down and talk to people and learn. And it's just, it's so simple at what other people can pick up. Even if one person picks up one thing from each podcast and it changes something and it impacts, then I'm happy with that. You know?
You are a catalyst for transformation, and what you're doing here is powerful. And, and bringing, these different perspectives
Yeah.
and offering them for other people to watch and consume is great.
Yeah.
I mean,
thank you.
What was
Thank
your
you to you.
what would you say was?
I like you asking me questions now, because I was
Yeah.
actually going to turn you to ask me a question, but I didn't tell you. But go on.
What would you say was the biggest turning point in your life and experience that made you really question where you was when you was 21 and what you want to achieve going forward and why you wanted to achieve it? Like, where was that point?
Yeah.
Can you remember a point where you was like,
I fell down once, and I think this is when I called you on my first session. I had a really bad fall, and I was completely trapped in my situation of life, and I didn't realize it. And I was just going round and round and round and round, doing the same thing with the same people, the same business. Everything was just round and round and round and round. And then you come to a session with me, and you were like, "This flat looked like there's a lot of things in here." And he was like, "You were like, how long have you been here for?" And I was like, about 7 years. Why? What's wrong with it? And there was like things falling on my head. And I was like, you're like, "Is there anywhere else you'd rather be?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to go Primrose Hill." And then you're like, "We'll go Primrose Hill then. Like, it's just simple." And then I was like, okay. And then I had to look at the reasons of why I wasn't actually letting myself go to where I wanted to go. And why am I holding back in the comfort and in the sickness? And it was a massive turning point for me. And then obviously, you know, I was really focused on religion, and it was a core value of my life at the time. My family also was a core value of my life. And I felt like, I'll be honest, I was putting religion and my family probably in front of me. Obviously God is, you know, almighty, but it was getting to a point where I was completely deteriorating. You know, my charity work, I was putting that before me.
Yeah.
I was on the streets feeding the homeless, as you know, for like 2.5 years in COVID. I didn't sleep. I was running range homes. I wasn't going to gym. I then got sick. And I remember you come to my place once and you're like, "Wow, you've created this beautiful apartment in Primrose Hill," and it was all gold and everything was flashy and amazing. And you were like, "But you look at you." Like, I remember I was like, I looked awful. Like, I couldn't even walk from there to you. You know, I couldn't even bring myself to have the energy to walk because, and then I realized, wow, you're really giving everything out there, but nothing to yourself. Other than you was actually the only thing that was keeping me aligned. Our sessions were getting longer and longer at one point because of COVID and everything that was going on. So that was when I realised that you need to really try and just help yourself first before. Because I remember when I met you, I was like, I want to do a children's orphanage in Africa. I want to be verified on Instagram. I want to be famous. I want to run 100 businesses. And I wanted to do so much. And then until I learned about my core values, I was like, but that's not aligned. That's not aligned. That's going to probably flop. And then I was like, okay, now it's time
Has anyone ever
to work.
Has anyone ever asked you, you know, why you was doing what you're doing, and actually given you and sat down and spent time with trying to understand you, or opening some, you know, ideas of, you know, why are you doing this, and why do you want this? Has anyone ever questioned you before like that?
Not until you know. Nobody.
Why do you think that is?
Because they're scared. I can be a bit scared. I can be a bit scary, I guess. I don't know. I think people probably trust me because I've always been ambitious and clever. I feel like I'm clever.
Has anyone ever asked you, are you happy with that?
No.
What you're doing?
No. So you was the first person to actually ask me those questions, and that's why.
So like, this is what we can do in day to day, just having them conversations, and it's so light. But sometimes it almost feels so heavy to them. Yeah. You know? I know. And once you start to do it more frequently, you become, you know, more of a light within society to open up other people's perspectives to, like, you know, alternative, you know, guidance. Yeah. So you know, in the place that you was going through a situation where you come to a point where you was like, okay, I realize this is what I desire, but I just don't feel physically aligned. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how does this work now? You know, I'm running 120 miles an hour. I'm doing this.
And I was
this,
running
this,
marathons,
this.
120 miles an hour, and I was at breaking point, I guess.
And and through those experiences, you want to be present to really enjoy those moments.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like tick.
But he was making me enjoy the moment. He was making me speak to everyone in the park and at the coffee shop.
Tell me about a moment when you was in the park.
Honestly, everyone just thought I was weird. Okay, I was going up to, hi, you're right, how's your day? They're like, is she a killer? What is she, murderer? No, it was amazing. It was physically lying. So let's move on to the business side of things. Obviously, we've touched a lot on amazing transformational stuff.
Cool.
So, I know you love property.
Yeah, love it.
And I love it.
Yeah.
So we're aligned. But what do you love about property other than the financial gain? And what's been your best property transaction and why?
I would say that it's always down to the core values, which is entertainment value, the educational value, and the empowerment value. So for me, it's looking at, so through these, and it's a transformational process.
Yeah, it changes.
Real estate, you know. I like to buy properties that need a lot of work, you know. And because like going in there
really
and,
bad
like,
ones,
piles of stuff, and like let's shift the stuff and let's really become imaginative on what we can create here. So one of the ones that springs to mind is my Starship,
I was going to say this,
which was which was like a little it was a 1-bedroom flat at the time, and a guy was like one of the biggest hoarders of stuff. So I went in there and there's piles and piles. It was really bad. And
you took the property on with the stuff in the property? With
the stuff in the property.
The hoarder stuff.
It had...
Because normally they have to, by the way, legally you have to empty out the property before you move it on with a transaction.
Yeah, so
they didn't do that.
They didn't do that. The guy had gone missing, the tenant who had left all the bits in there. I agreed to purchase it with everything in the condition it was in. It had a low lease.
Right.
It was below 62 years. I happened to own the flat above. I was one of the freeholders. So when other people were coming to look to purchase it, they had a bit of a challenge because I had already owned one property upstairs, and they would have had to come through me to purchase the flat. So it made more sense that I made a negotiation with the owner and purchased that flat below market value.
You had a bigger advantage there.
That's it. Yeah,
by being a freeholder.
Massive by being a freeholder.
Yeah.
You know, it's everything from all of the searches to knowing exactly the ins and outs of if anyone was absent as a freeholder, which I knew because we were the freeholders. We'd already done one. And have that communication directly to understand the building itself before we actually invest in that particular building, because it's a 4-story building, so it's quite a large unit for an old Victorian place, and you know there's a lot that could go wrong with. Yeah,
so it's period building, wasn't it?
It's a period building,
which obviously the older they are, the more problems that properties can have.
Yeah, and you know they so we already knew what we could achieve. We've got the team to do the due diligence on the market. We've been in that same area now for the last 6 years. Okay. So we had a deep understanding of the market and understanding exactly why people were migrating out of London to this seaside destination. Yeah.
Which you did really well in COVID, didn't you? Where a lot of people migrated to the sea.
100%, because you know it's people are selling up like £400,000 1-bedroom flats to move down and buy a £200,000 flat cash during COVID, and it's really, you know, once you integrate yourself within the environment and within the community, where I always do this with every location that we're looking to invest. To really understand why people are there. It's like asking the question. Okay,
so your specialist, you would say, in that area, have you thought to diversify to something different now?
In areas or types of property?
In both, because obviously I know you do flats.
Yeah, 100%.
Refurbs.
Yeah,
flips.
so we've got a team that will go in and refurbish the property or develop the property from ground up. So we've got that team, and we've established that over the years. So that is super consistent. Our guys are super consistent with that. With the
do you have any challenges with your team?
With the team now? Okay. No. So.
Good question.
Yeah, great question. So the challenges that we have with our team is not keeping them busy enough, really.
Really.
So.
Okay.
And that's now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
In the past, we've had a lot of challenges with the contractors. There was always a. Again, it's because we did not have the consistency with the deals to be able to have a team and deploy. So we was employing them every single time we had a
subcontracting.
That's it.
Yeah.
And of course, we build up great relationships, but ultimately, the long game is to have a great in-house team that can go and add the value, and then we can look to either refinance or sell on the exit. So I would say the biggest challenge at the moment is just keeping them busy.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
And how we're getting over that is by working with investors and looking at larger deals, from blocks to hotels. Yeah. I've got a large network of real estate entrepreneurs, investors, and developers that are always throwing deals my way and our way. Yeah. And I think it's important to be able to serve them consciously in the right way, and that are aligned to our core values. So that's
the tough part.
Yeah, that's it. Again, it's like
it's that. I mean, obviously, there's some great, because we are connected, that we both can get some fantastic opportunities out there for people.
There's so many that come across our
team. So that is what you've just built the connects and a network of people. Built
the connections, and this obviously takes time. So we've nurtured the connections over some years now. We're trusted, we trust them. Yeah. We've done small transactions between us.
And I think that's important to start small.
100%.
I really do, and then build the momentum up. Yeah. Small reward, and then see how it gets bigger and change the dynamic of a property
and adapt, because again, it's like understanding each other's goals. Yeah. And it's like a dance,
And obviously, I know you was doing development on your own when I first met you, and now you're partnering. You're partnering with people doing joint ventures in a way. Yeah. Do you feel like that's necessary?
When you say necessary, as in joint ventures, or
like going in with a team of force.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's if in any moment a deal comes across the it's on the table, and you feel like you can provide the right resources to deploy to it, and you've done the right due diligence on the deal itself, and you've got the right securities in place for you, and they're communicating clearly and transparently, then I feel that again, it's an opportunity to work together and build.
And help people again, isn't it? Really?
Again, it's all about working together, providing a win-win for people.
And you're very hands-on.
That's it. I'm a fully qualified electrician.
You are. You go and pick your own tiles and kitchens and bathrooms all the time.
Love it.
So you're gonna always stay as the project manager, basically.
I'm like a natural creative, so I love to get involved when it comes to the vision of the property and the asset that we're working with. Yeah. So, of course, working with interior designers, which we do, is amazing to be able to have that collaboration as well. Yeah. So 100%. It's I love to stay on the ground and in amongst it. I think it's necessary, to keep everyone inspired and motivated.
I think that's something that I had to adapt with, which actually was growing with people, because I've always been used to doing it on my own.
Just go.
So now I'm like, no, you need to, and it eliminates greed a little bit as well, because I feel like greed is a massive impact on people's decisions sometimes. They're like, why should I share when I can get...
so self-consumed.
Yeah, it's so self-consumed. And you can share with 10 people and form amazing connections, gives you momentum, makes you grow quicker and continue.
Yeah, so when you're building out your team, you really, again, it's about questioning, understanding them for them
Yeah.
and what their motivations are for what they're doing. So, having them, the check-ins, they might not be wanting to go and, own the 100+ properties and build out these and want to transform society,
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to us doing our first business venture
It
together.
will be absolutely phenomenal.
I can't wait for that.
What do you think that we should call it? The first one.
Oh.
Imagine it was a hotel. What would you call it?
Oh gosh. Oh, I don't know. I'm not very good with names. I mean, see both sides. Like Chanel took me about 3 months. We'll get there. We don't want to give too much away.
Quick decisions.
We don't want to give too much away. So moving on from the property stuff, you then created something absolutely phenomenal called Whiz Kid Billionaire, and because it's not my expertise area of property, I would like you to explain it to everyone in case I get it wrong.
That's fine. So it's members club. Are you a part of any members clubs?
David Lloyd's.
Okay, cool. So at the David, that is it. It's people gather around. They've got the same interests, and what we want to do is, what we are doing is we have built a members club, and we are actively building a community of visionaries, entrepreneurs and creators. Now, they're at the David Lloyd's. They might be open to allowing, the youngsters to come through, because I know they've got the DL kids, haven't they?
Yeah.
and then the adults can go and do their bit. So what we're doing at Whiz Kid Billionaire Club is we're allowing the younger visionaries, entrepreneurs and creators to be involved with the opportunities that we come across as the elders.
Okay.
And to be able to have that connection with the younger generation, to offer them guidance and wisdom, so that everything we're learning, we can hand them that conscious baton.
And you were focusing it around NFTs originally.
So the NFT element of it, the reason why we have decided to integrate blockchain and NFT technology is because you at David Lloyd's will tap the card, and you might not know anyone within that community unless you go over and have that conversation. And also, every time you pay monthly for the membership, it's you get to actively take part in anything that you're doing within that club. Now with NFTs, what we have done is decided to have it as a digital membership, so that anyone that has and holds this digital membership, there is a transparency. So I know that you have a Whiz Kid Billionaire membership. It's in your digital wallet. And if you go to Monaco and they want to see your digital
NFT,
there's an NFT as a
Billionaire Whiz Kid Club card.
When we have an event and you go there, you can just show your card and they know it's directly attached to you. No one can steal that from you unless they have your digital wallet.
Right.
So they can't. If I take your membership card from a physical card, I can go and tap it and walk straight in. Unless there's someone humanly, physically watching. And
what made you get into this?
So what it was is 2 years ago, me and my son were looking at these NFTs, and we was interested in building a community. And his interest was building a community of young entrepreneurs that can all work together to help clean the sea. So we're sitting there and we're going, okay, cool. How do we build this community? There's loads of projects out there now, NFT projects. Now, an NFT is a non-fungible token, which basically means that it is it's a unique digital certificate that only you own. So you can sell it. Yes. And you can purchase it.
You can buy them and sell them. And how do they go up in value?
There's a supply and demand element, much like property.
Much like everything at the moment,
exactly.
Isn't it? Create supply and give everyone the demand, and that's it.
That's it. So in our community, we have 3,333 tokens. Now, if we have, and when we have a complete set that have been minted, which means we have 3,333 members, it means that you can't get into the club unless someone is selling.
Right. Okay. So again, it's a private members club.
It's a private members club,
basically, but you own an NFT with it, and
so,
then you can flip the NFT like you flip a property.
Yeah, you can flip. Yeah, you can flip. You can flip for a transaction, but it's like, okay, our benefits will grow over time.
Yeah.
Right. So we're starting now, and as soon as we start to collaborate and add more benefits to the members club, it's going to become more valuable.
Okay.
And ultimately, if you have benefited from the club for 2 years and you wish to get out, you don't lose the money that you've invested in it. You've been able to utilize it, and you can offer it to someone else.
Yeah.
But at whatever price you set for that. Also, because there's a supply of 3,333, we can say that your specific one, because it has a unique ID.
Yeah, because I think I made one once.
Yeah, so your specific one has a unique ID, and because it has been gifted to you, it comes with a set. So for your one, it would come with a 12-month membership to transformational coaching. So every month you get an hour's transformational coaching. And
I would love that.
Now, no one else in that whole community will have that.
Yeah.
So you could sell that on the open market, and someone's getting instant value at whatever price you want to sell it for.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's a business.
Well, yeah. I mean, our business is helping to bring like-minded individuals together.
Yeah.
And it's a members club.
And where do you see that going in the future? What's your plans for it?
Our plans now is to work with, again, institutions and creators, influencers, and visionaries to really establish this as a go-to place for anyone that is looking to take their life, personal or business, to the next level. Because we are working to put all of the most aligned elements within that one.
And will you be
platform.
doing some like networking events? Because I want to come.
Yeah, 100%. We got one.
And guys, everyone who wants to come can just obviously follow Ray, and he'll be posted. He posts a lot of inspiring stuff. So
yeah, so we have VIP events that all of our members will have access to.
Amazing.
We have an event next month for Christmas. It's down in South London, and that is
my favourite part of London. Everyone, the opposite side of the river for me. Yeah, but go on.
Let's go.
Fine. I'm normally crossing over the pond on a plane.
That's it. It's all areas. I mean, it's.
So you're really focusing on growing that WizKid.
Yeah, this is that has a strong focus. I mean, like everything that I'm working on is all aligned, and that is a strong focus on education, empowerment, and entertainment.
Okay.
And it's having fun with it.
Yeah, it is.
And working with great people like yourself that have big dreams, and just to keep working together, because you inspire me to see you go from a place where you have gone through some challenges, like I have, like we all do, and come to a point where we have new challenges that can excite us and stimulate us mentally, physically, and emotionally.
And you're handling them so different as time goes on.
Yeah, they just become more playful with it, and it's not. It is fun. It's not so serious.
Honestly, guys, it is really fun. When you get to this level, you're like, just make it a fun, enjoyable experience. 100%. Everything you go through. Even your challenges, make them fun.
You have to.
It's fine.
Yeah, you have to.
I got this.
Yeah, you have this.
We got it.
And it's being here now. Everything we're doing right here, right now, is creating it, and take a moment to just pause. Yeah. And that's it.
So, what is Ray's future plans?
Future plan is just continuously become as presently and aligned as possible, and just stay focused on the big goals, and just be relentless with it.
Okay.
And I'm always aligned to wanting to help other people to achieve that as well within themselves. Let's just go.
Is there anything you wanted to show us today?
We have a couple of bits here,
Okay.
actually. I think you might like such a thing.
Darling. Wow. So this is, if you can see, Wizkid Billionaire Bag Monte Carlo. So who designed this?
I designed it.
Stunning.
I am the creative director for Filthy Rich, which is our fashion side of Wizkid Billionaire Club. And the reason behind why I created this as physical pieces as well, we've got the jackets,
Yeah.
which are a luxury. I mean, the feel is just phenomenal. And if you really look into them, you can really
Very
see
thick.
how,
Good quality.
the quality is powerful.
Yeah.
And if you really look into the brand, what you'll realize is that there's obviously a strong theme that is aligned through them all. And on here, this arm says, "Make every moment count." You know, so the pieces are beyond me, and they should represent a catalyst for transformation. So if you're holding it or you're wearing it, you know, you feel empowered. And feel that there's...
Like a magic cloak.
It's like a magic cloak. As soon as you put it on, you know, on the back, ain't everyone visionary, because, you know, some people are stuck in the stuff, and they're happy to do their thing. And that's fine, you know. But for us, and for me particularly, it's limitless. So why not keep creating and make it magical, you know?
Yeah. I think everyone needs to keep creating. That is
Just keep
best
creating.
advice
and
that,
keep
that anyone can
learning
give you
through that creation,
ever.
you know?
It's amazing.
That's it.
I
So, no,
asked
appreciate
you a question because I decided that life is a game of chess the other day.
Yeah.
And I asked you, I actually messaged you, and I was like, life is just a game of chess. And you gave me the most amazing response to that. And I want you to share that with our viewers today. Why is life like a game of chess to you?
I feel that, you know, if you can really understand that your outside experience is a reflection of everything that you've ever gone through in your life, you're holding the stuff with you. So as I always say, to take a pause and look at the outside life experience as a game. Now, it gives you the clarity that you need to know that you're on track. And of course, sometimes you're going to go forward, sometimes you're going to go left, right, sometimes you're going to even go back. And then sometimes you look back and you realize that you've got a whole bunch of responsibility sitting behind you. Maybe you're the king, maybe you're the queen, maybe you're the other elements on the table. But each piece plays its part. And ultimately, I feel that it's not just one, but it's many. So if we can all work together, you know, and really be able to communicate to your team, we can really make some impact, and in a conscious way. So yeah,
Amazing.
no, I appreciate you coming up with
Thank you.
such a beautiful message.
And obviously, I had to get you
Ooh, look at that.
a chess game.
Look at that.
I did actually give someone a chess game the other day because not the same reason, but I wanted to get everyone's feel on what is life about when it comes to chess, because it's something to learn from.
And it's everyone's perspective.
Have
you know?
fun.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Wow. Amazing.
I just obviously want to say thank you so much, because it means a lot to me that you've come down.
No, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, obviously, and I appreciate everyone on here.
Yeah, 100%.
For coming to watch and always support me in my journey and see both sides like Chanel. You'll see hopefully a lot of growth in it, which I'm sure is going to be amazing, because everything we do is amazing. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so
Ray.
much. Thank you.